I want you all to know that six figures, or let's just start with $100,000, right? And no matter how I say it, maybe you won't believe it, but it's really not that much money. It's really not that much money. $100,000 is not that much money. Because as I talked about yesterday, it's only $275 a day. Is $275 a lot of money? What we got to do, what we have to do is before we go to like the top of the chart, which is, and there are some people here who already make six figures or make above six figures and seven figures. And I get that part. But I have a very specific market, niche market of people who don't make six figures. So I would imagine that most of the people on this line don't. And that's okay. But you have to, before we start talking about six figures, we have to start to talk about your zero. We have to begin to raise our zero. What I mean by that is, some of you think when you have no money, you have no money. When your bank account says zero, that's when you decide, wow, I have no money. But some of you, when you think of $100, $100 is your zero. You panic. Wow, I only got $100 left. I remember being in the position where if I had 100, I'm good until I get my next money. But some people look at $100 as I have absolutely nothing left. Next level, there's some people, when you have $1,000, you're at the top of your game. But for others on this line, when you get to $1,000, you get nervous because your 1,000 is your new zero. If I get below 1,000, like if I start approaching 1,000, like if my account goes from 1,500 or my savings account is 1,500 and then it starts to get to like 11, I'm getting nervous. And then 1050, I'm shook. $1,000, I don't have a dime. But it starts here. I remember when I started to raise my zero, when my 1,000 became a zero. I had $1,000 and my mom asked me for $100. And I love my mom dearly. I'll do anything for my mom. But when she asked for the 100 and all I had was 1,000, I said, I don't have any money. The question for you all is, did I lie? Did I lie?
You didn't have any money to give, because that's probably rent right there. I wouldn't have done it neither.
Well, it was in so my rent was taken care of. It was just 1,000. It was in a savings account, 1,000. So
no, because you know the value of money.
When I said it in my head, I didn't even look at $1,000 as money. And this is while I was still working at the Cheesecake Factory.
You working on your little thing. You working on your little thing. Anything you got right now is towards that. So you got $0.
I got $0. I have no money.
You're speaking your mind. In your mind, you didn't have it. That is your reality. It doesn't matter what the zero is. Your mind said, no, it's zero. That's all that matters to the situation here.
We have to raise our zero. The reason why you keep going to an actual zero is because zero is your zero.
Yeah. You never land out, but you can't stand to lose.
A lot of people balling out of control and they go above and beyond their means.
Think about this. Think about this. Think about this real quick. When a certain group of people, they're waiting on their tax refund. They're used to zero. So when you get a tax refund of a couple $1,000s, it's so far from zero, and you might still be getting your paycheck. It's so far from zero, you're like, yo, I'm up. So now I feel the need to go buy stuff because I'm so far removed from zero. I'm not at zero. I'm not broke, because in your head, broke is zero. So when we have a few thousand, we start spending the money. I was just talking to one of my friends and he's in the Turo business, and he has a Porsche. He has a Porsche Boxster and a Cayenne, I believe. And he said his neighbor is renting the Boxster, either the Boxster or the Cayenne, one of them, the Porsche. He said, "Yo, my neighbor, she's renting my car because she needs to. She's doing like some networking events and she wants to pull up. She's investing in her appearance." He said, "But I know she just got that PPP loan. So now she's up a couple thousand, maybe 10,000, 15,000, something like that. Now that I'm so far removed from zero, when I have $15,000 in my account, I can now go, I'm so far up, I can rent a Boxster for $250, $300 a day for a whole week because I'm up." Now, what if she has $10,000, but 10,000 is her zero? She doesn't feel the need or the justification to rent a car for appearance purposes.
She gonna humble herself and start thinking poor again.
Yeah, what I'm saying, yo, if you don't, and Jim Rohn said this, he said, if you get $1 million, he said, you better hurry up and become a millionaire. What does that mean? He said, yo, if you get $1 million, you better hurry up and become a millionaire. What does that mean?
Raise your self-image.
So that's that.
To raise your
Look
self-image
at
to
your
become a
mind.
millionaire.
The millionaire mindset.
Hold on.
Mindset.
Yeah,
Keep the money.
whoa,
Learn how to keep the money.
hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
You said it. I don't know if you said it, but somebody you brought on said it before. About a millionaire is a millionaire about a year before they get it. And so I think with him saying that means that you have the money, now you got to get your mind there, because if your mind is not there, you are still about to be broke in a short amount of time, like a lottery winner.
Yeah. He said, if you get $1 million, you better hurry up and become a millionaire, because if your mind is at zero, you'll give all the money away to get back to what's comfortable. If your zero is zero and you get 15,000, because your zero isn't 15,000, you're going to hurry up. You're going to rush back to your zero. You'll end up giving it all away. And that's what my friend's neighbor is doing right now. So the first thing I need us to do is raise our zero. You need to decide what broke is. You need to decide what broke is. There are some people, when their account gets down to 50,000, they panic, believe it or not. Yo, do you know, like when the stock market crashed, there were multi-millionaires that got down to their last million and committed suicide. Why? Because their zero was 5 million. They got down to 1 million and said, yo, my life is over. I don't know how I'll ever get back up. Why would I even live this life? I'm telling you, I'm talking about when the stock market crashed and people got down, because in their head, their zero is different. But we don't mind if we go down to zero because we've been there. We're comfortable with that. We're used to that. But now we got to start to normalize this 100,000, this $8,300 a month, this $275 a day. If you've ever made $275 in a day, that means you have all of the makings to make six figures. Whitney, have you ever made $275 in a day?
Yes. Yes.
Brian, 275 sales?
I mean, 1,000 in a day, absolutely.
1,000.
Wait. So can I just say one thing? This is the first time you called me by my first name. Sorry, it's a moment.
I know, I like Owaro. That's a dope, man. So if you have ever made $275 in a day, you have all that it takes to be six-figure entrepreneur, six-figure businessman. You have all that it takes. It just simply means you need to do it again. You need to do what you've done, just more often. You need to do what you've done just more often. We got to normalize $275 for the day. We got to normalize. Listen, if your only source of income is a paycheck right now, okay, let me give it to you. When I worked at the Cheesecake Factory, my goal was to make $100 on my off days. So I'm used to making money every day because at the Cheesecake Factory, it's not a paycheck really, but I had to normalize income on my off days. I had to normalize it. So if your only source of income right now is a paycheck, we need to normalize something outside of that. Normalize $100 a week outside of your job. Then normalize $200, because if you've ever made $200 in a day, you just need to do it more often. You can do it. You can do it. You just got to do it more often. So that's why we look back at the month. We start to look, okay, what did we do for the month? And we got to start to track, because we need to know how many days last month, Brian, that you made $275 or more in May. We need to know that. Because if we made $275 6 days last month, well, what would our next natural question be? How many days this month am I going to make at least $275? And we start to push for that. We got to normalize this stuff. 6 figures ain't that much money. I'm telling you, but it's going to be based on your activity. So I want to get back to what I spoke on. Okay, let me get these 2 hands, and then I'll recreate what we talked about yesterday, because we gotta dwarf this 100,000 that people see it so big in their mind. Dia, what's up?
Hey there, this is so good for me this morning. This is exactly what my brain is. But I was just kind of piggybacking on what you said about our raising our zero. I think that coming from the hood, which is where I'm from, no matter where I am or who I am, or even though I'm in a different area now, I think being from the hood is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it makes you resourceful, but it's a curse because it keeps you in survival. And so it's like changing that mindset from survival mode to thriving mode.
Well said. Kepler, what's up?
Yes, that's the English version. Kepler is the French version.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Kepler. I know better. I know better. Kepler. Go for it.
Yeah, I think the $0. Oh yeah, thank you. I think the $0 also for me. Like I had to change my mindset because I'm from like Haiti. Like we came from like a place with electricity with all those things. So like my mindset for $0 has to be like, oh, I don't want to be. That's not my $0 anymore. Like here, having a house in like a North American country is the $0. That shit.
100%. Appreciate that. All right, cool. Let me jump into it. Okay. Here we go. Let's text it out. Okay. We're gonna draw that over. Okay. All right, cool. So 6 figures, $100,000 is 83, 33, 33 every single month. Okay. Now, this equates to 1923 a week and 274 a day and $48 an hour. If you get a job making $48 an hour and working 40 hours a week, you make $100,000. Hold on, I like dollar signs right here. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. All right, cool. So this is what we're looking at. And we talked about it yesterday. Which one seems possible or probable, and which one seems out of reach? Which one? Which one seems so scary? Some people might say, okay, making $48 an hour for 8 hours, that just doesn't seem possible for me. $274 consistently every single day, it doesn't seem possible. But maybe I can make a cumulative $8,333.33 every single month. Which one seems probable and which one seems kind of big and scary? Just text it. Just text it in the chat. Okay. 274. Which one seems easier to attain? 274 seems easy. Mike the Mogul says. Okay, 8,300 seems easy. I ain't mad. I like the 2,000 a week. I'm not mad at that. Okay, 1923 seems easiest. All right. Cool thing is, it's all the same number, right? But you need to focus on what's easiest for you. What seems more possible for you? Okay, now let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. We're not done. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. All right, so if we have a $25 product, okay, we have a $25 product. I don't know if, okay, I want to write this one because that's going to take me too long. Oh, no, undo. Okay, here we go. If we have a $25 product, so we're talking about product cost, total monthly, per month, week, and day. Y'all with me? Y'all are good? Just if y'all just put it in the chat, let me know y'all following. Let me know if this is helpful at all. Okay. Let's bang, 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 bang. Good. Okay. All right. So if we have a product or a service that is $25, every single month we have to sell 4,000 of them. Every month we have to sell 333 of them. Every week we have to sell 77 of them. And every day we have to sell 11. So this is what really helped me when I was working at the Cheesecake Factory. I realized that if I sold a t-shirt for $25, I'd only have to sell 11 of them every day. So it wasn't the money. It wasn't me making $274 every day. My goal was selling 11 t-shirts. Same thing, right? Like it's a $25 t-shirt, it's got to sell 11 of them, but my goal wasn't to make $274. My goal was to sell 11 t-shirts. So I'm marking off not how much money I'm making for the day, but how many shirts are being sold. That seemed easier in my head. I can sell 11. If I start early in the day, now I'm in a negotiation with somebody, I'm talking, and I'm trying to get them to buy 2. This one person bought 3. I got excited. Ooh, this one person bought 2. Okay, 2 in the morning, 3 after that, 5. Wow, I'm at 7 so far already. I only got to sell 4 more for the day. I'm excited. That's what excited me. The number, not the dollar. Number of units, not the dollar. Okay. Or you can create a $50. You know what? I want a different color. Undo. Let me get a different color. Let's go to the red zone. Okay. Nah, this ain't red zone yet. We're going to go blue. All right. No, we're going to go lavender. I like this lavender. $50 product. You can create a $50 product. Means we have to sell 2,000 of them for the whole year. You got to sell 2,000 of them. 166 per month, 38 per week, 6 a day. Now, what if we just have a $50 product that someone needs? We need to sell 6 every day. Or if we have a $47 or $50 residual program, the goal now is, how can I get 166 people to pay $50 residually? I don't know what will be easier for you. I don't know. It might be 38 for the week. You might say, okay, I'm going to vend at an event once a week. And the goal isn't daily, it's not monthly, it's not like for the year. I need to sell 38 of these products at this venue that I'm going to vend at every single week. That might be the plan. Okay, let's go orange. What if we have a $100 product? Well, we got to sell 1,000 of those $100 products, meaning we got to sell 83 every single month. We got to sell 19 every single week, and we have to sell 3 a day. My question for you now is, what is a $100 product that's probably worth $500 that we can sell to 3 people every day? Meaning we put the value, higher value for the cost. So I feel super duper confident that I'm giving $1,000 worth of value to you all for $79 for the month. I believe that. I think this call alone is worth $79. You pay $79 for a conversation to help you like shape how you're looking at 100,000. So the trick is putting more value in the thing that you're charging for. It's got to cost less than the value, and then people make it a no-brainer. So in ClickFunnels, you can, I think, well, we do it in a bunch of things. ClickFunnels, SamCart, all this kind of stuff. You can get, and I think it's in Stripe, so it is in Stripe. $1 trial. My goal is, I want you to taste test this thing, okay? I just want you to see the value, and I feel comfortable doing that. A lot of people, because the value isn't there, they're not gonna let you test it out. But I feel like I know really confidently, I'm giving you $1,000 worth of value for $79, meaning I'm going to give you $250 for the week worth of value for $1. You'll take that. So I don't know how you see it. I don't know if you see, okay, I could do 1,000 in a year. I'm going to come up with a $100 product. We just got to figure out what that product's going to be. Because I can sell $83 a month. Or you can have $100 product and sell people on a residual model, and it's 83 clients or customers on a $100 product residually. Okay, let's go to another. Let's go green. Y'all want to do green? Let's do green. All right, $200. Okay, y'all just screenshot this, put this on social media. You might want to put it on your screensaver, maybe a little more pretty, but $200 product. What product can we come up with that's $200? Because for the whole year, we only have to sell 500. And for the whole month, we only have to sell 42 of them. And for the whole week, we got to sell 10 of them. Would you believe that every day you only have to sell 1.3 products every week? Every day, a $200 product. We have to have a $1,000 product that we're selling for $200, and we can get one person to buy it every day. It's just 10 for the week. I don't know. Listen, hopefully you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, I feel comfortable coming up with a $50 product. Oh, I got it in my head, a $200 service. I got that, no problem. My friend, he washes cars, and he does car detailing, and I think he charges $40. I don't know. It might be $40. He came to the house yesterday. I think it's $40 or $50 to detail the car or whatever. I'm thinking maybe, let's just say it's a $50 product. He has to detail 6 cars every day, and he's running a 6-figure business. Ain't that dope? 6. And now I just schedule out my week. I got to do 6. If I want to run a 6-figure company, I could teach somebody else how to detail cars. So when he came to my house, he detailed 2 of them, meaning one customer for the day knocked out a good portion of what he needed to get done. Almost 40% of his whole day done at my house. And now he just has to keep promoting. Now, again, what you don't need to do is this month start on the journey of making 6 figures. I don't want you to think, oh, well, it's so out of my reach because I have a $50 product, but how am I going to get 6 customers every day? Well, it starts with 1 customer every day. Can you get 1 customer every day? Can you get 2 customers every day? What about for the week? What if for the week we can get 7 customers? In every single week in this month of June, you get 7 customers. You average 7 customers per week. I have a real tough question for you. If we are hitting 7, if we have a $50 product, right here it says we have to have 38 customers every single week to hit 6 figures. But let's just say in June, every single week we average 7 customers that bought this $50 product for the week. What would be the question that we ask ourselves for July? Just come off mute.
What happens if I double my price?
What happens if I double my price? Really good question. What's another question we can ask ourselves?
How many
How many what?
more do I need to have?
How many more do I need to have? There's another way to frame that.
How many more people do I need to talk to?
How many people do I need to talk to? That's good. What else?
How much more value do you need to add to the product to increase it?
How much more value? I like it. Anybody else?
What can I add to my activities?
What's my goal for next month?
What's my goal? That's what I was looking for. What's my goal for next month? If I consistently, first off, y'all had some really good questions that I didn't think about. That is awesome. What happens if I double my price? Is good. But okay, if I know consistently for June, I'm averaging 7 customers that bought my $50 product in July, what's my goal? Am I going to 10? Am I going to 8? Am I going to 9?
Doubling.
All we have to do is figure out how am I going to increase? Because it seems like for the last 4 weeks, I hit my goal of 7, which means if I'd have set my goal at 9, I'd have probably hit my goal for 9. So for July, 9 per week average. And if we are tracking June, average 7 customers a week, July, average 9 customers a week, what would I then do for August? Okay, how can I go to 11, 12, 13, 15, 19. How did you get from 7 a week to 19 a week? Gradually. And you have repeat customers the longer in the game. But that's why people don't grow, because you're not in the game long enough to get repeat customers. Because you're looking at today, oh, I didn't hit 38 for the week. I'm only at 6 for the week. But you're not in the game long enough. Do y'all know that the whole reason that a landlord in a commercial space, do y'all know that a landlord is going to raise the rent every single year? Why does a landlord raise the rent every single year? Anybody? Who knows? Why do commercial landlords raise the rent?
Because it brings the value of the property up.
Appreciation. Not necessarily.
They get the highest of their ROI.
They slowly raise the market price.
Cost of living.
Cost of living.
Inflation.
You're making more money.
Inflation.
More money.
Check this out.
The tenant makes more money every year.
No,
When you
because
raise it slowly, they
A
notice
bigger
less.
return on their investment.
Check this out. They know, it's so smart too. They know I'm going to raise your rent because I know the longer you're there, the more money you're making. I know that. If you're there, you got repeat customers, because it takes a little while to build up traffic. You're making more money, so I need parts of that. You should be going up in income by a certain percentage, meaning I'm going to raise the rent by a certain percentage. And the more people that are coming, the more repeat customers that you have, the harder it is for you to argue with this raise in rent, because you don't want to go nowhere. People know where you're at. Why would you want to start that over? So landlords know that the key to success is to stay in the game, because naturally, if you stay in the game, you'll make more money, but people don't stay in the game long enough to make more money. All right, let's go into the red zone. And I'm almost done. I'm almost out of here. $1,000. Some people don't see $1,000 product, but some people do. And you're saying, I can create this. I know something. I can put $5,000 worth of value in, and I can sell it for $1,000. At this rate, you have to sell 100 for the year. You only have to sell 8 every month. 2 per week. And 1 every 3 days. At $1,000 product or service. Can you teach somebody something for $1,000? I've got 2 clients now that are two clients now. One just left. All right, 2 clients now that are on a $2,500 retainer per month, but I'm giving $10,000 worth of value. 1,000. So for the month, if I'm going to make 6 figures, and it was just this business model, 2,500, I need 4 people. Well, 3 really, every single month, and it's going to be 6 figures, 100,000. But you can do the same thing. There's a certain group of people, only because your 0 is 0, there are certain people where their 0 is 100,000. I have some friends, if they only had $100,000 left, or if they were only making $100,000 a month, they would be super nervous. Meaning, if that's 100,000, if their zero is 100,000, you mean to tell me they're not going to pay you $2,500 for something? But because we think so small, we think ain't nobody else got money. That's the first problem. We got to normalize the 6 figures, and you got to get around people who are at this level of income because the conversations are a little different. Think of a number in your head. How much do you think it would cost for me, a pretty successful entrepreneur, to coach you every single day, to give you all of the game? I'm talking about every day for an entire year, Monday through Friday. I'm on a virtual call teaching you how I've done the things that I've done, and me updating you every single day in real time on all the business moves that I'm making, all the negotiations that I'm in, everything that I'm doing before I actually do it. How much you think? And let's say Monday through Friday, and then on Thursdays we do a Q&A where not only do you get a chance to ask your questions and get them answered, but you get to hear the answer from a whole community, hundreds of other people on a call, and you get their answers that are going to help you too. What do you think? And once or twice a year, get together, free conference that we all get to come to, and you get to meet all these people that you see virtually. How much do you think that would cost every single year? 10,000? Not even close. It would probably be closer to 100,000, because it's just, my time is valuable, and to give you the sauce that's going to help you make millions, I'd have to charge you at least 100,000. But what I've done is created a community where you get the advantage of learning how to become an entrepreneur. You get to network with hundreds of entrepreneurs every single day. You got a community that keeps you inspired and excited. You will read a book club with us every single day. We'll also have an event where we come together once or twice a year for free. We do all of that for $399 for the year. Go ask somebody. I've got receipts of things that I built over the last decade, okay? I am willing to coach you. $399 for the year. Listen, go to themorningmeetup.com or click the link in this video. Let's get back to the episode, but keep in mind, I want to coach you. Let's get started. And we're going to go through step by step on how you can be a 6-figure content creator, okay? It's very important that we all learn how to create content, because if we don't, your competition is going to eat your lunch. Think about it. Everybody is here in this morning meetup because somebody created some content. Think about it. The stuff that you buy on a regular basis was because the owner of the product created some content for you to consume and buy. That's why you bought it. And you say, yo, now that's cool. The way they painted the picture, the way they told the story, the way they displayed it, the pictures that they took, what they posted, the ads that they're running, it's all content. So you need to learn how to create content. It's very important if you want the results in this day and age, okay? So here we go. And I'm going to take it slow. Some of you might know this stuff already, but some of you don't. Who knows? The first thing we need to do, and okay, shout out to everybody on Instagram. If you need a payment plan, join the morning meetup. Join the morning meetup. Or send me a DM. We'll figure it out. Okay. You have to have a product or service. I want you to be very clear on your product or service. Okay, we're going to take this step by step. How to be a six-figure content creator. We got to be very clear on our product or service. What do you offer? Let me see. Danny Renee. What is your product or service? Okay.
Sorry, I was having issues with my phone. Financial services, insurance, and investments. I did not expect you to call me.
I know. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. I still don't know what your product and service is.
Mutual funds and life insurance.
You sell mutual funds and life insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Thomas Wilson. What is your product or service?
Currently, my product or service is a podcast and like a research website, but mainly a podcast.
So you mean are you selling a podcast to somebody?
So I'm not selling it yet. I'm monetizing soon. We're launching the monetization
Gotcha.
Component of the podcast on Patreon. So that is
good.
So
Okay. So if that's the case, the product is the Patreon. A product or service is something that you offer to somebody for money. It's an exchange. I want us to have a product or service. When I first started the podcast, the only reason I started the podcast is because I had a product or service that I was offering. I was doing a conference. So I created the podcast to sell the conference. If Marlon is going to speak at the conference, I'm going to interview Marlon and say, hey guys, if y'all look at them earlier episodes, every episode was ending with, hey y'all, if y'all want to come to the conference, y'all want to meet Marlon, make sure you go to realsocialproof.com and get your tickets. I was just selling the product or service through the podcast, but I was clear on what the product or service is. We need to know exactly what we're selling. Marlon, what are you selling? What's your product or service?
I sell a rental experience through rental cars.
He sells a rental experience through rental cars. I know. At the end of the day, I'm trying to sell you this rental experience. I want to give you this product or service in exchange for money. If we're going to be a six-figure content creator, we have to be very clear on what the product or service is. Now, let's talk about getting clear in with the product or service. There was a time where Jen, she offered service on systems. I can help you with systems, which is cool, but very vague. But what happened was she put all of this information into a product. She has a book. It doesn't matter if she sells 1 or 10,000 of those. She knows that this is the product. Your product or service needs to be in a package with a price tag on it. Some of us have a product or service, but there's no price tag on it. And we're all over the place when somebody asks us, well, what do? We don't even know how to charge them. We say stuff like, what's your budget? Nothing wrong with it because I use that for certain situations. But in the very beginning, if we are going to be a six-figure content creator, I want us to be very clear on what the product or service is. We need to have it in a package, even if it's a service. Let's say you're a barber. A package says you get this, this, and this for this price. You can get a trim lineup in Beijing for this amount of money. We could put the magic marker on your beard and it looks full until you sweat hard, but this is the price for that. I'm asking everybody to be very, very clear on what your product or service is and how much it costs. I'm getting somewhere. This has everything to do with content creation. There's everything to do with content creation. Trust me. So I want us to be very clear on the product or service. We might have to spend some time doing that. It might take a week. It might take a couple of days. It might take, I was talking to my friend, he did consulting. I said, yo, what you probably need to do, especially when you want to make money through content creation, is just create a product, outline services, and put a price on it that everybody will pay so that people know. So with the boot camp, right, there's specific offerings. You get this. You get breakfast. You get Top Golf this day, dinner, this day, dinner. All this in a package. Here's the price. Now, if I'm very clear on the product or service, we can move to the next stage, which is the specific audience. Who are we selling this product or service to? I promise you, this is a training on content creation. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. But first, some of you are going to be unsuccessful in creating content because you're getting on social media and you're just talking or you're just doing stuff. But we need to be specific on the product or service, then be very specific on who we're talking to. So we talk about it all the time. I need an avatar. Get to know this person and put a name on that person. Okay? And the reason you really need to have an avatar and not necessarily an age range, because some people say, well, my product or service is t-shirts, right? And my audience is people from 18 to 35. Question for you. Does an 18-year-old and a 35-year-old dress the same?
No.
They don't. 18-year-olds wear shorts above their knees. Now, I'm 35 or 36. I'm 36, and I'm just now wearing shorts above my knees. That's only because I'm trying to be trendy and I'm trying to be young. So I'm exceptionally fly. And I'm not really big on dressing like that, so I just do whatever I see. But for the most part, an 18-year-old and a 36-year-old don't dress the same. So when we're creating content, we have a product, but now our product is, we're trying to reach the 18-year-old and the 35-year-old, which confuses the 18-year-old because the 18-year-old says, well, some of that stuff look it's a little old for me. The 35-year-old says, I wouldn't wear that. That's a little too young. The cut of it, I wouldn't fit. So nobody can say, yo, this brand is for me. Now, here's the crazy thing. When you're very specific and you say, well, my avatar is a young lady, age 32, and all of the products that I make is for this 32-year-old, it's not saying that a 16-year-old won't buy it, or an 18-year-old won't buy it, or a 21-year-old won't buy it. That's not what I'm saying. However, it helps with your consistency in messaging if the product or service is targeted towards that one person, because it never, your messaging never changes. If the age range is 18 to 35, your messaging will forever change because you're talking to the 18-year-old today and you're talking to the 35-year-old tomorrow. And then tomorrow, the 18-year-old says, well, this message isn't necessary for me. But today, the 35-year-old is saying, yeah, you're talking to an 18-year-old. I don't talk like that. I want you to know who you're talking to. This is very important. I promise you, I'm doing a training on content creation right now. I promise you. So first, let's be clear on the product or service. Next, let's be very clear on the audience. And once you know who you're talking to, you can speak directly to the need of the person that you know intimately. I know my avatar's problems. I know what my avatar is going through. I know how they feel. I know what my avatar does on the weekends. One avatar, put a name on that avatar, and write out as much stuff as you can think of to connect with that particular avatar. Okay? Okay, great. So first, what was number one, Brandon? What's the first thing we got to get clear on? Brandon Sykes?
The first thing we have to get clear on is, what is our product?
What is the product or service? Absolutely. Jerome Midget? Is it midget or?
It's midget.
Midget. Okay, midget in French.
Yes, my family was Cajun.
Good. Okay. What is number two?
Number two is who is it for? You have to have an avatar, and the product is for me. I wrote a book titled "Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It."
Yeah. How much is that book?
$29.95.
$29.95. Who's it for?
It's for anyone who wants to.
No.
Okay, so my target. Here's my target. Okay, so here's my target. Really, here's my target. My target is church folks.
No. All right, go on mute, midget. Okay, Marlon. I'm coming right back to you, Jerome. Okay, Marlon.
Let's talk
What's
about
your product? What's your product?
Nah, I will say I do two different things. My business is the rental cars. I said the rental car experience. However, my content creation, I am selling.
No. Golly, what's going on here?
I'm gonna get to it.
Ariel, no, Ariel, let's have a conversation. Hold on. I'm coming back. Midget, I'm coming back to you too. Ariel, what's your product or service?
I coach people to go from employees to entrepreneurs.
How much does it cost?
It's 60 or 1,600.
What do they get for it?
They get 8 weeks of coaching.
Good. Who is your product service for?
A 27-year-old girl named Jessica.
Yes. Jessica. In every video, she's talking to Jessica. Midget, what is your product?
My product is knowledge, a book.
It's a book. How much is the book?
Book is $29.95.
$29.95. Who is your product for?
Elder Bob.
Elder Bob. I like it. Tell me a little bit about Elder Bob.
Elder Bob used to be in church, grew up in church. His dad was a pastor. He got disgruntled because he had a lot of questions about the reason God made a woman from a rib. And no one can answer that question for him. So he just remained in church, but he remained silent with these questions. And he was very, very disgruntled, but nobody knew it. Yeah. All he does is go through motions.
I love it. What kind of car does Elder Bob drive?
Elder Bob, he drives a Mercedes-Benz CLS 550.
Yeah. Jerome, you can see this person. Which now when we start creating content, we're talking straight to Elder Bob because we know what their problem is. And you start to get people that follow you that say, yo, it seems like every video you're talking directly to me. It is because you fit the profile of Elder Bob. It is not jumping all around to different church folk or anybody who does. We're not talking to them. And we will be talking to them. Okay. And some people just miss it and they feel if you get too granular on talking to one person, then I'm going to miss out on everybody else. And that's not the case. I'm telling you. And you just got to trust me, y'all. So thank you so much, Mr. Majette. So you got it right. And I call you by your real name. Okay. I appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, cool. All right. I think we got it. Very specific on the product or service. We need to put it in a package. You get this, and this for this price. Jerome says you get a book with X amount of pages and it's this price. We have a package. We can sell that thing. And now we're talking to a very specific person when we start creating content. Okay, great. Okay. Now, there's a few things that we have to do when we start creating content. And obviously going to the boot camp will teach you how to create, what it looks like, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to give you a few steps after we're mapping this thing out. So first, product or service. 2, specific person. Next, we have to display proficiency through volume. We have to show people that we're not a one-trick pony. We have to show people, Ariel, that I can teach a lot of stuff about what you're going through. Avatar. My well doesn't run dry of information. Alex said something really interesting. He said, if you feel like you're giving out too much information, it simply means you don't know enough. Because if you have 20 pieces of information that can help somebody and you don't want to give out the 20, that simply means that you don't know enough. I don't own the rights to those bars. That was Alex Good Energy. You need to be proficient through volume. I can listen, this is some stuff that I'm going to teach at the content creation bootcamp. That doesn't mean I'm running out of information. I got a week worth. I could do a bootcamp every single day for the next year. So when I'm on here giving you some game on content creation, the well's not running dry. I'm not running out of information. I can come up with formulas and teaching points all day, every single day, because I'm showing proficiency through volume. Most people don't create content because they don't have enough information. But I'm about to give you the hack. Go on Google and find out some facts about your particular industry, come on social media, and you teach it. The internet's not running out of information on content creation or how to become a better father or how to do hair or how to build a business or how to become whole. The problem is you only got 3 steps on how to be whole, and that is all the 3 steps in your book, and that's all the information you got. So you're not creating content because you don't want to give the whole book away. I could literally, what's crazy is I could literally take my book, read my book every single day, every word in the book every single day, and I'll sell more books, even though I gave them all the information. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of giving out too much information. Okay? All right, cool. So volume. You have to prepare yourself to give to display proficiency through volume, because if you give out a lot of information, people start to trust you. Number 2, you have to build trust through consistency. One part is displaying proficiency through volume. The second part is we have to build trust through consistency, meaning, can I come to your page every day and find out something new consistently? I'm not talking about, because you could take the one thing and say, I want to build proficiency through volume. And today I make 10 posts. And then tomorrow I do nothing. The next day I do nothing. The next day I do nothing. And the next day I make 10 posts. Meaning you made 20 posts throughout the week. And you'd be inclined to say, I made 20 posts throughout the week. But let me tell you what will be more proficient or more effective. If you made 1 post a day, every day throughout the week. And you're like, hold on, Dave. You said we need volume. Yes, that's the first part. The volume is the 20, but you have to blend it with consistency. What's more important is the consistency. I'd rather you post 1 thing every single day to your avatar than post 20 things that's crammed in 2 or 3 days. I need you to show up every day. That's how you build trust. I can trust that Martin is going to come on every Thursday at 8:00. I trust the network. So much so that I can say, friends, come through. We're going to watch pizza. We're going to watch the new episode of Martin or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But whenever the show comes on, I can trust that they're going to be there the same time every single day. I'm going to post something every day because I want people to trust the fact that, if you ain't come to my page for a while, you missed something. If you ain't been on my page in 3 days, you're gonna have some content to consume. So number 1 is we have to build. We have to become proficient through volume, and then we build trust through consistency. Okay. Number 3, show growth through duration. Show growth through duration. Meaning we not only have to have volume, we have to have a bunch of stuff out there. We not only have to be consistent, but we have to be consistent for a long period of time. The reason most of us aren't growing is because we can't be consistent for a long period of time. Every day for the last 3 years, I've shown up on social media. Which means, and I don't give a lot of volume. Like my man, my D, volume. My man, yo, he posts 2-3 times a day, every day. My commitment is 1. But I got years of this stuff. I've shown proficiency through I got a whole lot. If you search my name on YouTube or you just scroll through Instagram, there's a volume. There's a lot there. So I know what I'm talking about. And I've been very, very consistent. There's no gaps. There's no gap. I didn't take a summer off. Never taken a week off. I've taken a week off on vacation, but I still posted something. It's a lifestyle. And you can trust me. Okay. And we show growth through duration. And when I say show growth through duration, that simply means you can scroll back to my content 3 years ago, 5 years ago. And you can see the growth from 5 years ago to today. Can I do that with you? For one, it's going to be really hard for you to go back to all of it because I got the volume and I was consistent. The duration part. How long can we be giving this message? Y'all know how long I've been doing events? Y'all, you know how long I've been doing calls? Since I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Remember I was telling y'all I did the call every Monday night at midnight at 12 o'clock midnight. Every Monday for 2 years straight. That's 104 calls. I knew the importance and the power of consistency. I understood it. And I said, y'all can build this following. Here's what's crazy. I didn't have a product or service. I was just doing it. I was a contentpreneur. And I realized that shot me in the foot. Yo, I would have, there was hundreds of people that would join these weekly calls. And once I launched my coaching program, there was 8 that actually bought. 8. It got can you imagine 400 people on a call every single day, every single Monday. And once I offer you an offer to pay 8 people, it's hard to pay somebody that's not charged for a long time. That's why it's important. We got to have the product or service because, let me not go ahead of myself because I'm going to talk about that in 2 seconds. Okay. What was number 1? Who's taking notes? TJ, what was number 1? TJ. Okay. Brandon.
Like your product or service. My bad, Jay.
What?
Have your product or service. Have something to sell.
Yes, product or service. Number 2.
Be clear. Be clear.
TJ.
Know who you're selling to. Can you hear me?
Know who you're selling to. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Ask the brand master. Okay. We went through a few things just now that we need to take into consideration after the audience. What was the first?
Proficiency through volume.
Yes. Display proficiency through volume. Absolutely. Payroll. What was number 2?
Payroll was good.
Payroll.
It's build trust through consistency.
Build trust through consistency. Absolutely. Kefa, am I saying that right? Kefa? Cafe?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
What was number 3?
I actually just got back in a meeting. I do apologize. I'm not prepared.
That's okay. It happens. I appreciate the honesty. Bryn, what was number 3?
So growth through direct.
Thanks, Bryn. Bryn's voice got deep, suppose. All right. Show growth through duration. Okay. Number 4. Okay. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? For number 4?
Yes.
This is good. Make an offer regularly. Number 4, make an offer regularly. You have to regularly make an offer on a regular basis. Remember, for 2 years, I'm feeding people. There was thousands of people who joined this morning call over 2 years, 2 long years. And now I make an offer 2 years later and 8 people actually pay. Because I didn't make an offer regularly. We're talking about creating content, okay? That's why it's important to have the product or service, because we got to know what we're offering. I want you to make an offer regularly, but not all the time. You got to give value, and then you got to make an offer. But people need to know you for the person who has an offer. That's why the topic of this call is the 6-figure content creator, not just a content creator. If we're going to make bread, and it changed my life. I did an interview with King Ashley Ann. This is what changed it for me. She said, yo, you always got to be making an offer, or they look at you as the free person, and people don't pay the free person. They don't even take you seriously. There are some people that are super good at what they do. They got all this right. I'm talking about they're displaying proficiency through volume. They're building trust through consistency, right? They've been doing it for a long time, but they're not making an offer. And they will, listen, people don't hold you in a high regard when you're just giving out free game forever. If you want to run this bag up, you got to be clear on the product or service so you can make that offer regularly. People need to know you have something to offer. You wouldn't believe how many of your friends don't know you sell something. I would say stupid stuff like, everybody knows I got a t-shirt brand. Everyone. And then one of my friends said, yo, you still selling them t-shirts? This was like when I was actively selling the t-shirts. He said, you still sell t-shirts? I'm like, why would you ask me a question like that? I do this every day. But I wasn't posting content. I wasn't saying, yo, I got this new shirt to talk about on a regular basis. I'm leaving money on the table. You think people know you have something to offer, and they don't. So make an offer regularly, but not all the time. Don't be salesy. Okay? Offer value, but sell. So every day I'm going to tell y'all about this content creation bootcamp, of course, until it's sold out. But I'm making an offer regularly. But I'm also giving you value. So for the people who you're not coming to the content creation bootcamp, that's okay. You're still going to say, yo, I got some major value. I didn't buy, but I got some major value. You'll buy something from me. Like people on Instagram right now, you're gonna buy something from me. Because 1, you're always gonna know I have something to offer, and 2, I'm gonna be consistent through volume. Duration. Okay. And number 5, drum roll, please. Number 5. Track your growth. You've got to track the growth. Gotta track the growth. Success is simply math. It's an equation. It's math. If you want to win, you just got to do the number. You got to run the numbers. What's working, what's not working. I'm looking at my analytics every single day. I'm looking at the analytics. The other day, my views dropped off. It was crazy because normally I'm going to have 60 to 70,000 views every 48 hours on my YouTube. That joint went down to like 30 something. I said, oh no. I think primarily because I couldn't upload videos while I was on vacation. And I said, oh no, look on my page now. There's more clips from the podcast than in any other short period of time because I'm looking at the numbers. And then the numbers went back up. I noticed that the numbers fell off, and it was a direct relation for me not posting because I couldn't, while I was out of town, I couldn't download and Dropbox. The internet was just trash. So I'm looking at the numbers and I'm saying, oh, it's got to be this. I wasn't promoting it like that. Oh, let me start promoting more videos, clips from the podcast, and it shot back up. Success is math. It's simply an equation. But you got to track the growth. You got to track the growth, or you won't know what's working and what's not working. It's 8:54. It's 8:54. I'm gonna do a quick recap, and then I'm gonna let you guys know that that you can come to this boot camp. All right. So one, be clear on your product or service. Number two, be very clear on who you're talking to. Okay, be very clear on who you're talking to. Now, these are the things that are going to help us become a six-figure content creator after we've identified the product or service and we know specifically who we're talking to. One is we have to display through volume. Thank you. You have to display proficiency through volume. You have to build trust through consistency. Okay. You have to show your growth through duration. Can I go through the journey? Can I go through your story? Number four, make an offer regularly, but not all the time. And then you have to track your growth, find out what's working, what's not working. Am I growing? Am I not growing? If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.